I think we're on the hour now, are we? I think we are. I hope we are. I'm just itching to get going anyway. All right, you can hear me okay. Hopefully I'll see a yes or two in the chat. I think you can hear me. Yeah, good, good, good. Excellent. All right, before we start, I just want to thank you all for coming, and thanks very much for the faith in what we're doing. It really means a lot to me. Another thing is, before we have our next meeting, I am perfectly happy to go with a democratic vote on what time we should actually hold the meeting. So long as I can actually remain awake through the meeting, I'm happy enough to have it at any time at all. So you can decide amongst yourselves what time we'll have the next one to suit the majority. Okay, so we're definitely at the hour here, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, we'll kick it off. Now, right, what we do is we read price. Now, you guys, whether you know it or not, are all extremely good at reading price already. Now, I met Red Sword, you all know Red probably, a number of years ago. And when I met him, he did not know as much as you have read, as much as you know if you've seen, let's say, 50 of my charts. Easy as that. So you now know already more than Red knew. Now, what worked really well with Red and with me was getting together in a group and using what we know to actually run the market and to run ourselves through the market. Once I got into a trading room with Red, I was extremely happy with myself, and things just got better and better and better, and I was able to have the confidence in that group to actually expand on what I knew and expand on what everybody knew, and I was able to bounce it off people who were just as committed as me and make it work, and make it work all the better. And what we came up with was really, really simple, and the most important bit of it was the Quasimodo and the diamond. Yes, there was compression in there too. Now, the compression lesson is a very short one. I don't think we ever need to spend any long time on compression, but this is the most important bit, and this is where we can make money. Now, you guys are a group who are already committed. I mean, some of you have put in loads of time and effort into RTM. Some of you have put in loads of money into taking this course. It shows that you are committed. So as a group, you can become extremely strong. And now, you've learned everything about the Quasimodo and the diamond already. I've already said everything that needs to be said about it. We'll tighten it up here a little bit, certainly. I've been looking through your homework, and a few of you are going to, just in the next few minutes, get your money's worth out of this by knowing where to put your stop loss. I've said where to put the stop loss before, but still people are falling into the trap of putting it in the wrong place. So just learning that can cover the course of the cost of the course easily. But as I say, the information is great, the information is important, but working together as a team, going over your setups before they happen, is priceless for you guys. So yes, you could be committed, you are committed, stay committed, work as a group, and you're going to make something strong out of this. So, okay, on to the Quasimodo. On we go. Right. So as other people see it, what we have in a Quasimodo is simple stuff. We have a high and we have a low, and then we have a higher high and a lower low, and then we can sell up at the first high mark. That's great, lovely. When it's upside down, it's exactly the same thing. We have a low and we have a high and we have a lower low and a higher high, and then we can buy at the Quasimodo level. Lovely. That's what people think a Quasimodo is. And it is essentially that. Now, I've seen from the homework that it does need tightening up quite a bit, because what we need is a thing called space. And if we haven't got space, we haven't got a trade. So we'll get on to that now in a minute. Oh, we've still got people arriving. Oh my. Oh, well, let's record it. It's all good. So, okay, onwards. Right, but not everything which looks like a Quasimodo is a Quasimodo. Absolutely, and that's where we get caught out a lot. So here we have something that looks like a Quasimodo. We have a high, we have a low, we have a higher high, and we have a lower low. But what's it doing? It's actually hitting something over here. What we have is a high, and then we have this little kink above the high. That little kink is extremely important. When we are looking for targets for moves, we look to previous highs and previous lows, etc., but we don't look exactly to them. We actually look to the kink where they were broken, and this is often invisible. So in this case, what have we got? We've got a high, low, higher high, lower low, right into this kink. And we do not have a trade there. We've got no space whatsoever to work with. Did I write something similar to that over there? This looks like a Quasimodo, but the lower low is just an engulf of the low. It didn't even engulf the FTR of the break of the last high. There's the FTR of the break of the last high, the little kink. It didn't break that. Now, it's no good. It's just not a usable Quasimodo. It's got everything that looks like a Quasimodo, but it just doesn't have the price action. So it's no good to us at all. So on we go. Now here we have something. We have a upper flag limit that we've touched, which is great. We have our high, we have our low, we have our higher high, and we have our lower low, and then we come back up here. Now our lower low has actually broken something, and that gives us PA. It's something to work with. So we're looking really good. So of course, when we look at the higher high, it's a wonderful thing. Now, what we've got here is an high, and very often this high gets made and then it starts trending downwards. It starts making lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows as it goes. So people are thinking, retailers are thinking that yes, we actually have a trend forming now. So wherever they can, they're going to get in at supply. They're going to get in just under the highs of each of these little swings on the trend, and they're going to expect the price to go down and down, probably to touch this high right here. And that allows the institutional traders to pick up all of the sells that the retailers have in along here through the little through the swing that we have down in underneath all of the lower highs. There are going to be sells there from the retailers, and the what's it called, the institutional traders are going to take those sells, and what they want to do is actually take buys later on, because they want to sell up at this level. So they want as many people as possible buying into them. So they'll happily take whatever are the remaining short orders here. Now, the market itself is full of retailers, and some of them are going to be buying at these levels and some of them are going to be selling at these levels. Now, the IT wants the best possible price, so he's going to let the retailers buy and sell off each other, and if they haven't brought price in the direction that they want them to go, they're going to put in those extra few little buys in this case to bring price up through each level. And that causes more and more pain to the poor retailers who have sold here and here and here. And as price goes up, it gets more and more painful for them until it comes and it breaks this high. And there are tons of stop losses above this high. Now the stop losses for all of the shorts that were put in on the way back up here, stop losses are just above this high because people have this impression that you should put your stop above the high. And that is that prevails all the way through the internet. Everybody on the internet is going to say that you're going to put your stop above the high. And it's just utterly ridiculous to do that, because since everybody knows that you should put your stop loss above the high, then surely the institutional trader knows that all of the stop losses here are above the high. And that's it. When people are selling here, they'll have a ton of buys up here. And then, of course, you'll have those idiotic breakout traders as well, who once a higher high is made, they'll simply, or once a high is broken, they'll simply buy and expect price to go into the sky. So not only have you got loads of stop loss buys here, you've also got loads of buys, people entering the market here. Utterly ridiculous at such a high price. But the people here, they've been put under so much stress with price coming back up here. What can they do? Only say, okay, I'm not taking a big loss on this. Price was going absolutely great, and now look at it, it's absolutely terrible. So tons of buys here at a really high price straight into the institutional traders. That's what this whole formation is about. It's about giving hope the price is going to go down, telling people the price is going to go down, in fact, and then letting people respond in kind and sell all the way up here to take their stop losses above there, give them that bit of panic up above the high where all the stop losses are, and then come and take price down further. In this case, it has made price action. It has broken the kink. It's broken the FTR on this flag limit here, so it's now going into the flag. So where is the next place to actually look for a target? Well, over here you've got a left shoulder on this high, and that should have been a Quasimodo level. I mean, everybody knows a Quasimodo level should work. Price should have come to here, and it should have come and made lower lows all there and gone all the way down to hell. It didn't. It actually broke here. So this is an ignored Quasimodo level, which is very strong, because if something was supposed to be strong on the way up and it failed, then it's going to have added strength on the way back down. So what we have here is space. We actually have room for price to go after it engulfed this and retraced. We have room for it to come down to B, and it's going to hit B before it'll break A. So once we get in on this little trade here, now we're going to find a little kink on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side of this high, just a little drop, base, rally, base, drop. We're going to find that which corresponds to this high over here, and then we're going to sell from there, and we're going to keep our stop loss above what we are reacting to. Always keep our stop loss above what we're reacting to. If you put your stop loss above the high, you're looking for big trouble because of what comes soon enough, the diamond. And it can happen, and it can take you out very easily. So your stop must be beyond what we're reacting to on this scale. So that's it. We do have a trade. On we go. Right. But we must be sure the trade fits our criteria for a good trade. That's true. It's not over. Oh, we've got trouble with sound from somewhere. My voice is on and off. Okay. Is Kim back? Boo, boo, boo. Kim is not back. That's a shame. Come on back, Kim. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, well, we're recorded anyway. It's such a shame. But, oh, all right. Okay, okay. Let's move on. Sound, Kim, everything okay here too. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Right, so we need the criteria for a good trade. Right, onwards. Okay, so there are 4 parts to every trade. There's your entry, there's your stop loss, there's your target, and from these we work out our return. Okay, has Kim just come back? Don't want to be missing anybody. No, oh, such a shame. All right, so it's an internet problem on that end. Okay, from our entry, our stop loss, and our target, we can work out our R, which is our return on investment. It's our reward to risk ratio. We want it to be at least 1. Absolutely. Kim is back. Good, good, good. Boo, boo, boo. Right, okay. So on this trade, what have we got? We have our entry here. That's E. And we have our stop loss up there, our stop loss. We have our target down here. Now our target is a funny thing. If we're selling, then our target is supposed to be right here at this kink. Now, when we are closing out a short, we're actually buying. Now, in buying, we do not buy at the lowest possible price. That would be too good for us. We buy at the highest possible price that our broker will give us at that stage, and that is the ask line. So the bid line can go all the way down to here, but our stop loss, or no, not our stop loss, our spread actually defines where it is that we'll be exiting the trade. So if we are putting a set and forget target on these things, we have to always allow for the spread on a buy. And remember, a buy is the closure of a sell. So our target here has to be our spread above our predicted target, always like that. So, okay, for a short, our R will be our entry minus our target. So it'll be this space here. And that gets divided by our stop loss minus our entry. So it's that divided by that. And that has to be greater than 1. There is absolutely no point in taking a trade if we're going to leave it to chance and we're going to allow ourselves to win less than we're risking. That's no good whatsoever for us. My cursor keeps going away, but it's back again. Okay, that's fine. So yes, we have to have a greater reward or a greater potential reward than potential risk. So that's what that's all about. We need it to be greater than or equal to 1. That's really important. Don't take trades with less than or equal to 1. And now we do want our trades to run, and we want them to run for 25R, we want them to run for 40R, and we can get them. So the entry will be a touch trade. Now if you get PA like this, you do not need a touch trade for it. You don't need to wait for further PA up here. You actually have PA and you have space to your target. So you can actually put in, and so very often it is much better to put yourself a pending order in here and then walk away from the damn thing. And then you're not messing with it, you're not fretting over it. It's just done. Now, if you're the kind of person who is like Red, or who was like Red, you could, it didn't matter what you do, you could take pending orders, you can take market orders, anything at all, and none of it is going to affect you at all. He didn't get attached to trades at all. If a trade went his way, that's great, it's going his way, and it's just business as usual. And if a trade fails, he just gets out quickly, and that's it. And it's business as usual. No emotional attachment whatsoever. Now, okay, on an aside, he did have massive emotional attachment on things like, can I draw on this? I can draw on this. It's going to be really messy, but I can do it. Now, he would get really attached to trades like this. The price is coming down and it's coming down and down, and he's in the trade and everything's fine, and then it comes down to nearly his target, and then it comes away like this. That would drive him absolutely crazy, the way price got so close to his target and then came away from it, and he'd be waiting an awful lot longer to get back in. He was fuming over that, and that actually gave me a massive brainwave. It gave me a wonderful idea about the markets, and it's that this is bound to happen. That yes, we do have our ideal targets for these things, and price can get extremely close and then look like it's making PA in the opposite direction, and then come on back down again, just to get people in this case buying on this, so that they can take the stops below it, and once it gets to the target they can take all their stops. Easy as that, and that really opened my eyes about the market. So yes, he did get frustrated when price got so close to his target, and then bounced away, probably filled an entire range back up again, and then came off to his target. Drove him crazy, but it showed me something really, really important, that they absolutely love doing this, getting really close to the target and creating a BS zone. Which I'll tell you about later. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love that. Okay, now this is erase all drawings. Okay. So yes, we have space here. Now, okay, let me see. Oh yes, Kim is back. Yes, Kim. All right, can you hear everything okay? Let's hope you can. Kim, can you hear? Come on. Yay, good, good, good. Alrighty, let me go back a couple of steps. How do I go back? Gil, how do you go back on presentations on this thing? Arrows. Arrows, arrows, arrows. I don't see any arrows. Oh, okay, alright. Right, okay. Come off this drawing, come back onto there, onto that. Yes, now. Keyboard arrows. Yeah, I'm trying keyboard arrows. How about up? No, that's no good. Okay, it's all right. We go back, back. Okay. Now, I don't know where I lost Kim exactly. Okay. All right, maybe it's somewhere around here. Alrighty, with this one, sorry for going back everybody, but yeah, we'll be leaving Kim out if we don't do this. With this, it looks like a Quasimodo. It has the H, the L, the HH, the LL, and then people will be imagining they should take the trade there. But it's actually just hit the kink on the top of this flag limit over here. It has actually hit its target. It hasn't made any PA at all. So it's no good. It really is no good as a trade. So what we need is some space. We need for price to actually make PA first of all and then have space to the target. So with this one we have our high over here, we have our kink over here, and we have our high and our low and our higher high. I won't get into the what's it called, the retailer's emotions in here because I've been through that already. We have our lower low here. Not only did it break that, which wasn't important, but it broke this, which was important. So it actually has space to get to B before it's going to break A. And that is pretty much a universal rule in the market that if we get PA, it is going to go to our next flag limit before it can break the flag limit we're reacting to. Simple as that. So we have a trade, but we must be sure that it fits the criteria for a good trade. So here is this. In our trade, we have 4 things we look out for. We have our entry, we have our stop loss, we have our target, and we have our R, which must be at least 1. So with this one, here we are. Our R on this is this space divided by this space. And if that is greater than 1 or equal to 1, we do have a trade. If the space between the entry and the stop loss is greater than the space between the entry and the target, it's no good for us. We don't like it. Just avoid them. So make sure you have a promised R greater than or equal to 1. And make sure it's promised. Oh, you only have a promise in something like this where you have space. Okay. For a long, yeah, there you go. There's no need for me to tell you about that. That'd just be really too much. Okay, the setup you've just seen works well, but it's a little bit advanced because it's a break into a flag, and not all the left shoulders, which are the targets, are easy to spot. The left shoulder is easy to spot. Now remember what I said a little while ago about the ignored Quasimodo. Any left shoulder can be a target for price, especially if it didn't work very well on the first time it got hit. A left shoulder is a Quasimodo level, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then be very careful about it on the way back. So we can either wait for the entire flag to be engulfed, giving us tradable PA and await a retrace, or we can look into the lower time frames and take our trade there, keeping our stop loss always beyond the HTF flag limit we're reacting to. So let's begin with the flag engulf. Alrighty, so this is a little bit different from the other one. In the other one we had our price action coming and breaking the high of a flag. Now what is better for beginning your adventures in Quasimodos is to actually let a flag engulf. And now that is quite the same as going back a few steps to the other one and looking at the kink engulf. Remember the kink that we had, which was just the break of the high we had to the left, the kink there, that was a flag in itself and it was an engulf. Now this is exactly the same as that, and we have space down. So what do I say? Let's hope it's sensible here. Shrink controls or move them or something. Alrighty. Now I hopefully will be able to see people's chats as they come up. If not, then somebody say if and tell me that I've missed something. Right, if B breaks, which is then price will go to the FTR of the next flag C before it can break A. Okay, so here's the next flag C. The FTR, as I say, is the kink which happens on the break of this. It's very often invisible, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's very obvious. But price doesn't always have to go to the previous lows or previous highs. It just goes to the break of them. So that's a really important thing. Just always remember this kink. Okay. So if B breaks, then price will go to the FTR of the next flag C before it can break A, so long as there are no highs or lows in the way further to the left. Exactly. So if you have, let's say, a higher time frame swing over to the left and it's gigantic and it has a low in between here, then surely you can't expect C over here to be your target. Surely you'd have to look over at this low over here and see where it got broken and find a little kink on it, and that kink would actually be your first target for it. The same as if there were a big high time frame or low time frame, whatever, high over here, you'd have to look, find the kink on it, and let that be the more important target. And if those get hit, then you have no PA. Let's just say in this case there is nothing in the way. We have only space in the way, and all our other highs and lows are above this and below this. Then we do have beautiful space and we have a trade. So we can take our trade with a stop loss above A with a target at C. Our entry can be at D, or if we have the patience and are happy to possibly miss a great trade, wait for our entry at E. This was an important level over here, and very often the bottom of this is a really great place to be taking our trade. You will find some reason for it to be over there. This will usually be drawn at the MPL of a kink, of a flag limit, of a whatever, and the MPL of that is an important thing. So the MPL, of course, it's going to be boo, 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 boo. There. It's going to be something like boom, boom, boom. Something like that. So that place over there is still going to be important when it comes back here. So we can have our first entry here. Sure, brilliant. That's great. And the R is good. Okay, how far back do you look for a flag limit on the left? You look until you've got one. It can be a couple of minutes ago, it can be a couple of decades ago. Just find it. Like, you're not going to take a Quasimodo level in space anyway. If you're not at an upper flag level, upper flag limit for a short or a lower flag limit for a long, you're not going to take the trade anyway. So you must have found this in the past. If you didn't find this in the past, then you've got no reason to be trading. So until you find that, you have no reason to be trading. When you do find that, you'll often find the trick here where you've got let's say PA coming down, and then it starts coming up, and then it starts coming and making a trend down again, and then they start taking the stop losses over here and then shoot back down through. That's a lovely trick in the past, and it can work so well in the future. That's why we're here. We always look for tricks played in the past and look for tricks right now being played into them. And over here, now this one is really, really nice. We've got we've come in, let's say we've broken an upper flag limit over here. That'll, once this target gets hit, that then becomes a lower flag limit. We don't draw our flag limits until we've actually hit our targets. Now, will I read this? I will read this. Do we? Damn it, I lost it. Okay, I'll be back in a moment to that. In this case here, we have broken our lower flag limit, or upper flag limit over here, and we've made a high and a low, and then we've made even a higher high over here, and then a lower low. And this is going to, happens so very often. This tells the retailers that price is going to go and it's going to shoot down. So the retailers are going to be selling, 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 selling all the way to here, and they're going to have their stop losses beyond here because that's what they're taught. That's a lovely straight line. I wish I could do that all the time. Can I do that again? No. Okay, pretend that one didn't happen. All right, so tons of stop losses over here, and we're back over into this area here, and we're gorgeous. So yes, we can take just one trade there if we like, have our stop loss above here. Give me a straight line. All right. And our target down here. Now, it's going to be our spread, of course, beyond this. Always our spread over here. We've got to account for the spread on closing out shorts, because, as I said, when you close a short, you're buying, and your buy price is always going to be the ask line rather than the bid line. Isn't that right? Bid below, ask above. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now there's a question. Do we give the most recent flag more weight? Once we found one, we stop looking at. No, absolutely not. No, 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 no. That's why I put this in over here. These guys. The most recent one can be very important, but if there's something on a higher time scale or even the same time scale in the way, then that has to be the more important one. Now, if it's in the same scale, if it's just a low time frame thing, it's not definitely going to stop you. But if it's a higher time frame thing, then absolutely you really should be watching. Well, you should be watching out for it anyway. But if it's a high time frame thing, you've got to find the kink on it, and you've got to make that your target. Even in the same time frame, and even in the same scale, you've got to make that your target. You've got to be conservative because it can stop price and it can turn price. Now, what we have is okay, this isn't the best example of it, I suppose, but we do have our first engulf down. And once you do have one engulf in the direction you want to go, if you've got one reversal engulf, there's a very strong chance that you are going to fill the range all the way down to the very source, all the way down at the bottom, or all the way up at the top, taking it from the other way. I do not want to have a whole group of sellers here. I want buyers as well. But there is a strong possibility that you're going to fill the range utterly. One piece of PA can be all it takes to actually fill an entire range, but you're not guaranteed it. So you've got to be conservative about your targets. Always you've got to be conservative about these things. So okay, delete these things, erase all drawings. Yes, I'm getting good at erasing drawings. Good, good. Okay, chat down. Right, onwards. Let me have this back. Okay, so we can have an entry here, or we can say, all right, I want really high R on these things. Let's hope, just hope the price gets back up to here again, and then I'll take my trade there. Of course, you can take one trade here and one trade there, and if there's another MPL even higher than this high over here, you can take another one there. But you've always got to be working within the same risk parameters. I would never advise anybody to risk more than 2% on a trade. So if this is your... What is a piece of PA? A piece of PA is an engulf. It is an engulf which hasn't hit its target. Gotcha. Okay, good, good, good. Righty. So now, with this trade, if you're only taking one, you put on your full 2% in this area here between your entry and your stop loss above A. If you want, you can hope for much better results. You're not guaranteed that you're going to get them, but you can hope for them and put in, let's say, a half or 1/3 of your risk here. So it would be 0.666 blah, blah, blah % risk on this one, and then another one here with 0.666% risk. And then if there's any set of orders left above you over here, you can put another 0.66666 recurring % risk on there, all with the same stop loss. Now, with this one, if you're to put in 0.66 blah blah % risk, and it goes to it doesn't go up any further and comes all the way down to the target, you've made something. Now what if it comes up and makes the diamond up here and you put 0.66 there? Then you've made a hell of a lot more profit on this one, and this one here becomes, or starts to look a bit irrelevant with the profit that it makes. Still good though, but if you can get really, really, really close to your stop loss with your entry, your R is going to be so much higher and you will make so much more profit. Obvious stuff. Okay, so what disqualifies a Quasimodo setup? Alrighty. Okay, here we have, we have a lower flag limit. That gets broken and comes down to the target, creating an upper flag limit. Then if this upper flag limit gets broken, it will get to the kink of the next one before it can break what it's a reaction to. But what if it's already hit it? If it's already hit its target, then it is no good to us whatsoever. We cannot take a trade. Now, what we can do certainly is let price come back to here, or let it come back to here, and we can look for PA there again in a lower time frame. We can take lower time frame PA and watch it come, and we can hope that it's going to fill the range again. It can fill the range to here, it can fill the range to here, it can fill the range to here, but we've got to keep watching PA as we go. And as soon as price goes against us, as soon as we get PA coming back in our direction, we've got to consider that our trade is in trouble and we've got to cover ourselves with it. There is no PA in a setup like this, but if price has blah, 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 if price has come to here, let's say there's a left shoulder over there on the way up, and price just comes, makes PA there and comes down to here and comes down to there. We'll wonder, why did this not get taken? Why did this not get taken? It must have been left for later. There is a left shoulder there, and surely when price made its first piece of PA down here and engulfed down, it really wanted to come back up here again. So very, very often, really very often, this is left for later, and this is very magnetic to the to the to the institutional traders. There are orders left there. So if they want price to come back later on, now certainly they can come and engulf down and then bring price back up to here, and that's great. It's a wonderful place. But if they don't, let's say they just bring price inside here and then they start coming up, they'll very often do something like this. They'll come up to this level, and this here, they'll make it look like a resistance. They're going to do something like this. They're going to make it look like it's working. And in making it look like it's working, they can so easily trap retailers again, because retailers are mad on support and resistance. They're mad on the highs and lows of flags. And they're always taught, hold on, why am I smoking a cigarette? Oh, I found one. Okay, all right. I don't smoke anymore, but it's nice. Right, what they're going to do is come and make another resistance here and make it look like it is working. They're going to start trending back down again, simply so that they can do the usual things of get the retailer to sell here and make it look like it's working again even, and then get the retailers to stress out a little bit on a break of this, but they're still hoping that this is okay. They might even add to their position here. They can make that start to work, and then they put them under stress again. Loads and loads and loads of stress. Oh, I didn't ask for that. And then not just stress them, but destroy them by coming and taking out this resistance, this resistance, which was bound to work, because resistance is always bound to work. So the retailer thinks, well, rubbish. They'll very often make it like this, so the stops are above, take the stops over to the last set of clean orders there, which were always so magnetic, and then come and finish off the move whichever way they want. Easy as that. So yes, assume in that rectangle, lower scale, open up you. Assume in that rectangle, the lower scale flag limit target up here, okay, there is an MPL. So I think about it that price rally and hit the SR of that, okay, for future fake out to the very extreme, as in up here. Yeah, very maybe, absolutely very maybe. True supply in that kink. Right, MPL. I mean that the target didn't reach it. Oh, the target did reach. If it didn't take out the last pockets of orders. Now, you know yourself that SR can often work. Now, SR is here. This is the SR. It's not exactly that point, but it is here where that got broken and retraced and advanced. That is SR. Now, if price was always going to go up to the MPL and always going to go up into true supply here, into the extent of it, there would never be any mention of SR. But SR can work. It doesn't work in the way that people imagine it, that it's always to the pip. It works on this over here. Now, this kink can come really far down here and it can be invisible, and it can come really back up here. So your SR is this whole area here. It doesn't have to be to the pip. It is simply where we break our lows and retrace and advance, we find the kink inside there. And this would be it in here. So price can come all the way, let's say price up here, it comes to here, and it's actually hit the SR of that over there. And it just has. It has hit the SR. Now it doesn't need to go any further than that. It can come back down here. So yes, while this is very tantalizing to the IT, it can be used for later, absolutely. But as we are looking for our targets, it is not the target that we were looking for. If we break a flag limit here, we're only looking for the RSSR beyond it. Simple as that. If you have more than one SR, how do you know which one to use? You use the closer one. You'll always use the closer one and make sure that your R is good on it. Make sure that you have at least one R on these things. Now, if it's a group of SRs, if it's a compression that you are working towards, a compression is a different thing. You can very often ignore all of the SRs within a compression once they haven't broken a flag limit. If they have broken a flag limit, and this is important, you have to put that flag limit right into the middle of the compression wherever it is and use that flag limit. No, I didn't mean that big MPL. I mean an MPL in the little kink. Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, yes. Yes, for sure. Absolutely. In this little kink, yes, damn straight. Anywhere inside here. And it can come and hit this, and then it can make bearish PA. Let's get rid of this. Bum, 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 bum. Come on, move. Right. So yes, you're right. It can come and hit this, fine. It can make lovely up. And you can be sure the price is always, well, very often it's going to start getting retailers to sell so that they can take their stops. So okay, you get something like this, that's fine. If it comes straight up there, then wicked. If it comes straight up to here, it didn't really give retailers a chance to start selling, so we could do something like this to get retailers selling here and get them selling here and get them selling inside here. And then, of course, later on, take their stop losses over here because they'll have their stop loss above the high. And if we do have a better MPL inside here, go to that, take the diamond, take all the stops, get buyers in on the way, and then take it. So they're either going to get the sellers in on the way to the target and then take their stop losses, or they're going to hit the target fast and then they're going to have to start getting their sellers in again by making a trend downwards and then getting the sellers in on the supplies of this and then take out their stops. Okay. I saw a lot of trades like this, and very often trades like this. They don't hit the target for future fake out, and it's an intention for them. Yes, absolutely, they'll want to break it later on. Yes, they will want to break it later on, but in a case like this, they are going to break, or they're going to hit this target before they can break what we're a reaction to, because we have the price action there. Simple as that. Okay. But good stuff. Nice. Okay, next. Oh, let's get off this. Alrighty, now, hold on. Oh my, right. Sorry, Gil. I only just saw your Skype message there. Yes, sorry, I didn't realize. Excuse me. Okay. Right. Onwards. Okay. So let's say we have a similar setup, but it has broken the lower flag limit over here. That has given us PA down. So then anything which comes above here and breaks the upper flag limit is meaningless to us, because if we have made a piece of PA in one direction, then we're quite happy to fake out past here, and we're not obliged to hit our target here at all, because we have been given this PA over here. So it's pretty ugly for us. So we do not have a trade in this direction here at all. There's very often going to be some little kink inside here which is going to stop that and bring price back down. So it's an ugly thing. If we have broken our lower flag limit, then we do not have PA on the break of this. It's just not going to work. Okay, next. It didn't hit the flag, or it didn't hit the target yet. Yes, once we've broken this down here, then we're going to go to the next one before we can break this one up here, and that's fine, but it didn't actually come down to the target yet. So what you do in a situation like this is wait for it to actually hit the target, and then you can come and take your trade back up. And this in itself can very well be the precursor to a diamond. It's very nice to have it actually hit the zone, and I do rather the ones that have hit the zone first, but this is me often drawing an MPL rather than a zone, and we do want to let price come and actually hit our MPL zone before we can take our trade. So this for me is a no-no on a trade. You've got to let it come and hit the target before we can come and trade back up to the next target. Easy as that. Okay, now here's the R again. If the R is less than 1, it's no good for us. We're in a zone here, and it's a really wide zone, and we do have PA. We've hit our zone, and we've come and we've made PA up, and here's our target for it. I wouldn't ever take this trade because my stop has to be below here and my target has to be right here. So you're just not getting enough out of it, really not getting enough out of it, so it's not worth taking that trade. Okay. So the above is focused on PA seen in the same scale as the flag limits we're reacting to. Going down into lower time frames works exactly the same. However, should we get our first reversal engulf in lower time frame, there's a strong possibility the price will then retrace all the way back to the higher time frame approach flag limit. Let's see what we mean here. Okay. So here we have an higher time frame lower flag limit which gets broken here, and we draw our, or once we've hit our target below, we can then draw our upper flag limit, which is this guy here. And here then is our lower time or higher time frame. Come back here. Where's that thing? Here's a higher time frame lower flag limit again, and that gets broken here, making a higher time frame upper flag limit. And then that gets broken up here, and once it hits our target over here, we then draw our higher time frame lower flag limit. Easy, that's, yeah, easy. I think everybody has me so far. So then what have we done? In the middle we have lower time frame flag limits. So each of these red ones will be a break of a blue one to the left. That's nice and easy to understand. Good, good, good. And what have we got? Right, with this we have an upper flag limit here, and it gets broken up here and creates a lower flag limit here. That's fine. Gets to the target, so we have a lower time flag, lower time frame, lower flag limit here, and we get PA down. Now that's lovely. We have space all the way down to the next place. So what did I write here? With the engulf of the lower time frame flag limit, lower flag limit A, we're promised lower time frame lower flag limit B. Yes, great. And that's before we can break this over here, of course. But there's also a very strong possibility that we'll now complete the higher time frame, or complete to the higher time frame lower flag limit D, that we're going to get over to the kink of this. We are not promised it. We are absolutely not promised it at all. But once we have our first piece of PA bringing us back into a range, there is a strong possibility, even probability, no, I'm not going to say probability. I'm going to leave it at possibility. There's a strong possibility, not a probability. Okay, strong possibility, minor probability that we are going to fill back up this range again. Especially since once price came out of here, it didn't come back and pick up these orders. If there are clean orders left around here, let's say over here or over here, if price came and took out this guy over here and didn't come back to fill these orders, didn't come back to fill these orders here, then they are still really attractive to the ITs, and why wouldn't they fill that range and create more tricks back over at that end again? I mean, why wouldn't they? The orders are there, they can fill their pockets with those orders, they can trick retailers whichever way they want and make a range in here, because they do love to range price. Absolutely, they love to range price. And how about coming down to here and making a low, and then maybe filling this range up again and back up to here, so you'd have resistance there and support over here, and let price come back down to here again and make it look like it's getting bullish, and then take out all the stops there and come down to the absolute MPL over there. They love to fill these ranges. So okay, question, what happens if lower time, hold on. What happens if lower time frame flag limits are compression? Where is the target then? If the lower time frame flag limits are compression. Okay, once we break into a compression, then price is going to get to the other end, or to the MPL of that compression. If we've broken a compression, then treat it like any other flag limit. Simple as that. But yes, once we've broken into a flag limit, we're going to get to the MPL of that flag limit. No, once we've broken into a compression, we're going to get to the MPL of that compression. Sorry. And once we break it, as I say, just treat it like any other flag limit, and it's going to get to the next one. Alrighty, so onwards. And what time is it? Oh my golly, used up so much time already. Okay, so the theory of the Quasimodo is as simple as that. Okay, so before we apply it to real charts, let's take a look at the diamond. Alrighty. So okay, what have we got here? We've got an upper flag limit here. That's great. And then we have what was a lower time frame, or no, a lower flag limit here getting broken. So this was an upper flag limit here on the way. All right, and another set of them over here. So, right, what have we? We have the break of an upper flag limit with this, and then we come and hit our target. So once we've hit our target, we can draw our lower flag limit, sorry. And our lower flag limit, for that, we look to the deepest retrace after we have engulfed, and then we look to the furthest advance before that deepest retrace. Always as simple as that. So here's our deepest retrace after we have engulfed and before we hit our target. So we draw our lower time frame from that deepest retrace to the furthest advance beforehand. And in this case, it's very simple. It's just from here to here. So our flag limits are drawn from here to here. The same as, let's say, over here. This one got broken down, and we will draw the lower flag limit from the deepest retrace after the break to the furthest advance before it. So there, easy as that. Simple rule on that one on drawing our lower time frame or lower and upper flag limits on the break of upper and lower flag limits. We can only, as I say, draw them once we've actually hit our targets. That's fine. So we have those drawn. So here's our lower flag limit here on the break up towards our target. Our target hits, and what do we have? We have a low here, which is totally insignificant. The break of that low means nothing, but what we have done is we have broken this lower flag limit. That is important. And then we are going to get to our next lower flag limit, or the kink there of it, before we can break what we are reacted to. So what have we got? Here's a lovely QM. It has all the ingredients of a great trade. We have every reason to place an entry at the left shoulder level. Does it have every entry? Did I actually draw this so that our R is greater than 1? I hope it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I've screwed that up. But make sure your R is greater than 1 on these things. Okay. We have every reason to place an entry at the left shoulder level. But there's a reason we put our stop loss beyond the flag limit that we're reacting to. While we did have a touch of the upper flag limit followed by an engulf of the approach flag limit, blah, 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 that's here and then here, which is great PA, we didn't actually pick up the last set of orders in the upper flag limit where the real trick in the flag limit occurred. This is the best price in the flag limit and will always be attractive to the IT. So right here we have our RS, and that is great and it is lovely, and here we do have our PA from this and it is great, but we cannot have our stop loss above this high or just above this SR that we've got, or RS, SR, yes. We can't have it there, we have to have it above here. And here we did have a lovely flag being made here, and you can be sure that they made a fake resistance on it here to get even more sellers in, and then they came and took all their stops and pushed it down, and then, of course, that is the best trick that was played in this whole place. It was gorgeous. So it was price promising to go up to the sky and then shooting straight down and breaking the whole flag limit there. So that was the best place, and it still is attractive. So right, what do we have? And this happens so very often. The price comes and it hits the target zone, makes PA, and of course our Quasimodo traders are going to be getting in there, and so many of them have their stop losses above here, and so many of them have them above the RS that's here, and they're going to come and take all those stop losses over to here and then let price come down to the target. So retailer Quasimodos have their stops above the higher high. Sellers' stops are, of course, buys, and the buys are great at a high price so that the ITs can sell to all of those buyers. So breaking the Quasimodo level and then the higher high is brilliant for the IT. The Quasimodo gets sellers in, and the break of the higher high turns those sellers into buyers at a very high price, with the IT very happy to, oh, I've already said that, sorry, excuse me. Right. So, I think there is a problem. I can't hear Pip. Yeah, since we moved to the countryside, there aren't many people passing by my window, and my window is very many meters back from the road, and it's dark outside with no street lighting. So yes, he's quite quiet. He hasn't exploded in a number of hours since he saw somebody passing by on the road. But there still is the chance that he'll freak out if he hears anything outside, because he's a bloody great guard dog. Bear with me a sec. But yes, Pip is usually a big part of all the webinars. He's just sound asleep beside me here. Okay, back to the charts. Alrighty. So yes, we do have PA here, and we do have a reason to put a trade here at the Quasimodo level. Now, we can put all of our exposure, all of our risk at this if we want, and we can put in all of our trade here with our stop loss up over there and let price go to its target. Or we can see that this is over here, and we can, I wouldn't even say it's take a risk, but we can we can give ourselves the chance of getting a much greater payoff on this by only putting half of our position in here. That if we're risking 2% altogether, we'll risk 1% between here and here, and then we'll have another pending order here or wait over here to put another half of our position in here and give us a much, much greater R. And in this case, yes, it pays off to actually put the other 50% of our trade on here with 50% in here. It brings us all the way down to the target, and this one here gives us much, much better rewards than this one here. We can wait out for those things, and you know, it all depends on whether on yourself, whether you want to not miss all of the trade and put all of your exposure in here, or maybe you're going to just wait out and see, maybe this won't hit this time, maybe this has been left there for a later time, maybe price is going to break this low over here or break this level over here and then come back out and take these things. But if you want to take the chance that price hasn't hit here yet and maybe it will on this swing, then leave your half entry to go in there, and that can give you a lot better pay. Why not have entry 3? Could it go higher? I mean, not break the yeah, you can go higher inside there, but what I've shown here is the trick. The kink is going to be over there. It's the best place for me to actually put the trade. Very often in a case like this, I wouldn't even bother with taking a Quasimodo trade on here, and I would wait for this to happen. Very often I'd miss the trade entirely. Price would come and hit the target before it actually hits here. Very often it's going to break the target zone and then come back in here, and that makes it lovely because then we have we have price action to get to the next one, and coming up here makes it absolutely gorgeous for taking that trade. So you should see a Quasimodo, should you see a Quasimodo form very early in the flag limit, it's prudent to put half your position on at the Quasimodo level, set a limit order for the other half at the left shoulder level of the apex of the flag limit over here. The R on that entry would be far greater than, yeah, okay, onwards. I've already said that stuff. Okay, so the diamond is a very clever extension of the Quasimodo, which takes into account the retailer's predilection for putting their stops just beyond highs and lows. And this is something that we've all got to stop ourselves from doing. And we've all done it. We've all done it so often, just put tight stop losses beyond our highs and lows, and they're wrong. Do we ever place our stops beyond the highs and lows? No, we put our stops beyond the flag limits we're reacting to. Okay, now let's put it to the real chart and try to make spotting PA and proper placing all elements of our trade simple. Now here what I'm going to do is look at some of your homework that you've put in. I didn't get to look at today's homework that was put in, but up until then I've got quite a few examples here that I want to look at and see what's right and what's wrong with them. Bear with me one sec. Alrighty. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, this is old stuff. Hold on. No, I've got to escape this here. Boo, 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 boo. And I've got to come into and let's go to here. Okay, now there's so many of these charts here, it's going to kill everybody to go through them all. I'll get through as many as I possibly can. All right, what have we got here? We have a Quasimodo somewhere here. What have we got? We've got a diamond, we're told. We have an high, we have a low, we have a higher high, and we have a lower low over here to the diamond over at the MPL level. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. What have we got? Okay. Now, my thoughts on this. Oh, here was TG1 that was marked. Okay, well, that's nice. That's fine. What do we have? We have a break into this over here. Even two lows like this is a compression. So here we have a break into that. And then we have our ignored Quasimodo level inside there. So with this one, we have to be very careful with this. We have to be really, really careful. Yes, we have broken the low of this and we've come to our target zone over there. So now our first target on the break back in of this low over here is going to be the IQM of this, which is over here. So we have to draw our line over there, find out where our retrace was, where our kink is in this. Now it's somewhere inside this candle here. It could be all the way back up to the top of this candle here. I didn't check. We're going to have to find it. Now, if it just so happens that it's right here and this is the low of it and it came back straight, and that was at the end of price or at the end of that period, and then as soon as it broke here it came no higher than this, then over here we have our first engulf and we actually have price action to bring us back in, and that could have been a nice bit of PA to come and fill the range. And with that range there, after this is broken, I would be looking to the other side of it. I'd actually be looking at symmetry with this guy over here, and I'd be looking to this part over here, that if it's broken in at the bottom of this, I'd like it to be getting to the top. Now there are a few places it can go to inside here. Let's say here is a good place. There's 1, 2, 3 highs there, and they should have kept price down, but they didn't. So that is one place, and that's actually a place to stop price as it did over there. Or of course this whole thing, the kink on the break of this Quasimodo level over here could have brought us all the way back inside here, and then there's no PA whatsoever. But okay, I do like the symmetry on this. I do like this place over here as being a very probable target. But we also have a Quasimodo level here and a left shoulder level here, which could have held price as well. So we do have to watch out for those things. So, okay, what you have here is your stop below the low. And okay, here is where you get the value out of this course. You do not have your stop beyond here. It is actually beyond this guy over here. It's what we're reacting to. So stops below this guy. Am I right? Yes, I am right in this case. So okay, that's an okay setup. Maybe there is detail lost here because our first target is the kink of this guy over here and we don't know exactly where it is. So you'll have to open up lower time frame to find it. Okay, so next. Right, what have we got? We're in what looks like a supply area. That is fine. Here we have an high, we have a low, and then we have a higher high. What am I getting here? And short here. Why do we short here? Oh, because we have an engulf of something. Okay, let me just get on to the next thingy here. Okay. What have we engulfed and what are we engulfing to? Righty. Okay. This is kind of a dead setup in that there wasn't space. Yes, we engulfed this guy, and this was, yes, here was a high, and this was a break of that. So this is essentially the kink on the break of that high over there, and we did break it. So what's our first target on the break of this? Well, we look over here for other significant Quasimodo levels and left shoulder levels. Here we've got this. We've actually got two highs lined up there, and those highs should have held price down here, but they didn't. Price came up and then shot back down through again. So this left shoulder level here is important. When price got over to here, it should have reacted, but we have a gap inside here. So really with a gap, you are losing out on a lot of information, and taking any trades inside a gap is dangerous. I mean, very, very dangerous, because we have lost information. So it's not something which I could love or condone, is taking trades like that. And then our engulf has simply taken us over to this left shoulder level over here. So really for me, it has hit its first target, so it's no good for me. So coming back up to here is great. Yes, price did come back down over here. It came down to the MPL of this guy over here. Lovely, absolutely lovely. And you see the two lows were formed over here, and those things just love to be broken to take stops beyond those lows. So yes, there is something to be said for filling this range at least. Really. Now we don't know, once this was engulfed, whether inside this gap price came and actually filled the last orders that were there. But so we are a bit stuck. We have lost information through that gap. But if price had engulfed back up here and didn't come and take out these last orders here at the MPL, there's still a very strong case for filling this range again once it gets up to this level. But we do not have price action here, unfortunately. We just have hit our target with it. Okay, so the next one, let's see, what have we got? Okay, we're probably at a supply over here. Here we have an engulf of a low. Now the engulf of a low isn't the most wonderful, most important thing in the universe, especially since the low of this wasn't even preceded by the break of anything. I mean, this guy over here, for it to be PA, it would have had to have at least broken the high of this. Then it could be a lower flag limit. But right now it's just nothing at all. It's really nothing in space. So the engulf of it means very little. Did I say this in the next chart? Okay, that's not an engulf of any, or this isn't an engulf of anything, so it doesn't make it a lower flag limit. What we do have over here is the engulf of nothing at all into a lower flag limit. Now, here we have this guy over here. This might have been significant as an upper flag limit. We can see that it was significant. In fact, it held price down twice upon return. And then over here it gets broken, and what is the deepest return? I don't know here. This seems to be the deepest retrace on it there after it broke it, and then that seems to be the furthest advance before it. That's what it seems like to me anyway, or maybe, no, in fact, no, it wasn't this one over here, it wasn't this dark one, it was this one. It was the deepest retrace back to the furthest advance before the deepest retrace, so that's it over there. So we have an engulf of a nothing into a flag limit. So that for me isn't PA at all. It's just no good. So there's no trade there for me. Now what we do have here is these highs lining up with each other. This is pretty much a double high, triple high over there. So that was a pretty good thing to look for, in that retailers are going to see this as, what's it called, as or as resistance to price. And yes, they're going to start selling here again, and when they've got sells here, their stop losses are going to be directly above this. And yes, price did shoot up quickly, and price shot up quickly into this level and took out, you see there's a high there and a high there. There's actually a high there as well. That's another resistance being formed, and that gets faked past, taking loads of stops. So any retailers who had gotten in short on this guy over here, maybe they got the promise, see there's a trend forming all the way over here. This is a Quasimodo level, and they've made a lower low, and then they've made a lower high and a lower low here, so they've actually started the trend downwards, and then they push up really quickly. And I do love a big, strong, fast push, taking out stop losses. That will at least bring price back over to these highs again. So there is the chance of taking that trade back to those highs and see what happens. And in this case, we got minor PA back in here, down to here, and it came down, filled this range again, and there is always, as I say, the chance of filling the ultimate range back down into here where we came from. And it did happen there, but there's no PA on this, so it's not a good diamond. Alrighty, what have we got over here? Ho, 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 ho. All right. Okay, so we're coming from this lower flag limit. That's nice. We have a low over here. Then we have a high, and then we have a lower low, and then we have broken into this compression over here, and we have a QM level over at this left shoulder level. Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So what have we? First of all, we must look left to find the upper flag limit that this broke, just to see where exactly our lower flag limit is. Now, what I was saying before about checking a compression to see if it has broken a flag limit. Now, there will have been an upper flag limit there, and let's say the high of the upper flag limit was, let's say, at the top of this candle. Then that would make this over here a lower flag limit, and then our blue box would be here. Now, if there wasn't an upper flag limit over here, then there is no lower flag limit here. But in this sense, there's something happening here, and what you've done is offered to take the trade in before the compression, and that's fine. Now, if you were to look for a stop loss on this, there are two ways of looking at this, and none of them is wrong. If you've got this is there one that's wrong? Okay. You could be very brave and put your stop loss just here right as you break into the compression. Safer is to look to the other side of the compression zone over here. That would be past this down here. This is the end of that compression. So the safest thing to do is have your stop over here. I would very often, however, use pre-compression as my zone, and I'd have my stop below here. So that's absolutely fine for me. Now, do we have PA? Alrighty. We have, here's what you call your engulf. That's fine. It's engulfed this flag limit over here. And really its first target for me is this guy over here. There's a high there and a high there, and price came and faked those and then came down past and took out the low. So that's a nice little trick to be played. In essence, for me, this has hit its target. Now, what we can look for is in the lower time frames. Let me see, this is H1. Yes, this came straight down to here. Now, why? Or you'd have to look at lower time frames and see, did price come and make lower time frame PA downwards, and then did it come back up to this level again, or let's say this level over here or this level over here? Did it come and take the final orders that were inside there? Because we could actually get ourselves a range trade again, just trading from this left shoulder over here, filling the range to prices which haven't been met on our first engulf down and didn't come back up to our MPL of this inside here. There could have been a trade. Here though, there really isn't a trade. It looks nice, and it does look nice, and it's great, but it's really no trade at all. So onwards. Alrighty, take some coffee. Mouth is dry. How did I get through so much of that coffee already? I didn't think I drank anything. Alrighty, what have we got? Okay, now this is another one of those BS trades. I love these things. See, we've got two highs lined up over here, and those things are always begging to be broken. They are just absolutely begging to be broken because of the retailer's idea of resistance and support always working and putting stops beyond them. So there are stops beyond these highs over here. And okay, price came and it got to this level over here, and then it made a low, and then it made a lower high, and then it made a lower low. So it's telling you that it's going to go down. So yes, you're going to have retailers selling all the way inside here, selling all the way, and they're going to put their stops beyond this. Most of them are, which is fine. Here actually, inside this, they made it look again. You can look in lower time frame and you can see that they've actually made a trend downwards again. We've got a candle here and a lower candle there. So it's telling retailers that they're still good, and then they're actually adding to their shorts inside here, and then once price breaks this high, they're getting really stressed, and then once it breaks these highs over here, which are a really strong R, then they can't hold the pressure any longer, and what looked like a very promising trade, and maybe they were in profit in some of it. It looks now awful, and they can't hold it any longer, because as soon as price breaks here, it's going to go up into the stratosphere. So you have put your stop loss above the blue rectangle. If you found this, you seem to have found a nice place. All right, I don't know how accurate this is, but yes, you've got the stop loss in the right place. That's absolutely groovy. And you want to short here at this supply. Oh, you want to short here. Okay, all right. Does that look absolutely fine? What are my thoughts on it? Boo, 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 boo. Okay. So you've got an engulf of a flag limit, which is fine. That is a flag limit. And then you're looking over here to the Quasimodo level of this, to the ignored Quasimodo level on this. Really, you've come and you've hit your target here, and you've hit your target absolutely beautiful. So now do you really have PA with this? You don't have PA with this. I would have actually rather take this as PA. It has broken, do you see the way this has broken that flag limit there? Let's say this is your target up over here. It breaks these guys, breaks this and breaks that, and then comes to here. So that's now a lower flag limit. And with the break of this, you're looking good. But did it? Oh, actually, it hit the target inside this candle. So I don't know when exactly it made this. If it were to make this engulf after it had hit this zone, and this zone is kind of, I don't know exactly what it is. So really we didn't have price action there, but just coming in and breaking these left shoulder levels over there would give you the idea the price is going to come and it's going to fill this range again. It's going to break through all of this flag over here and take out these very inviting last sets of orders over inside here, tying in with this left shoulder over here. We really don't have PA now. It has actually hit our target, which does suck. It has filled the range, so I can't be convinced the price is now going to respect this and come down using this as a target, because this cannot be our target now. Now, if price comes up here, shoots past here, takes out this flag limit here from this low over here, gets up and then retraces a little and doesn't retrace down to the MPL of this, then we have that high possibility that price is going to come and fill this range again. Here is pre-compression on this, which is nice, and it is a good place to take an entry. Now, if we're going to be absolutely certain that it's going to fill this range, which may or may not have been filled on the way up passing over here, if it passes here and comes back and takes out those orders, then it's weakened. It's severely weakened. It's not that attractive on the way back. But if, let's say, it comes and takes out this flag limit and then comes not all the way back down and gets back up to here, there is an argument to be said for filling that range again down to the MPL of this over here. So it's not promised, but it is very, very possible. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. What do we got here? We have got, right, we have a demand over here which got ignored. Right, fine. I'd like to see the MPL of it over here. Maybe I don't see it. Maybe it's just this over here. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's that. I don't know. Okay. So now we have our SR flip. Okay. We're told that this is a lower flag limit, and in a way it is. It's got these guys here getting broken, so that's a lower flag limit, and breaking that gives us PA. Okay, now you want to short here at this ignored Quasimodo level, the IQM of that. That's okay, okay. What do we think of that? Alrighty, you say your TG1 is over here. Now what about our first engulf back up into this whole range over here? That is a target for us. So yes, we've gotten an engulf of this flag limit over here, so we do look for our first target. Now, here is a left shoulder on that, and maybe that is really good. Maybe that is a great place to actually look for price to come to, but being conservative in our trade, we're going to have to say there's a strong possibility it's going to come and fill that range, but there is no absolute probability. There is no definite on that, because we have our first engulf over here. That has its little flag limit in here, and our MPL of it certainly is inside here, and we don't seem to have hit that MPL, but we did actually hit the zone. So, all right, if you're putting your stop loss above there, and you've already hit your target. Your entry is here. You're looking really bad on this trade. There isn't any space. You've already hit your first target of these things. So that is not your TG1. That is your, in this case, perhaps ultimate target on it. It's your wish, your dream of a target. But it's not your TG1. You will look for the first engulf back in. You see we've got a compression zone into here. We're broken into the compression and we're going to go to the other end of it. We're going to go to the MPL of the compression over here. And that's it. We actually broke that, which actually looks very uppish on price action. So we can't say that we have a trade here because we have already hit our target. Okay. Righty. Now, example 5. Right. What have we got? We're up at a SR flip, fine, M15. Okay, we're at a higher time frame, higher scale zone over here. Right, we're told this is a flag limit. This, for me, isn't a flag limit on this scale at all because it hasn't engulfed anything. It really hasn't engulfed anything. So it is quite insignificant. But you're telling me that, okay, this is another flag. Oh, maybe you've got 2 of them. Okay, there's 1. Right, so that's a lower scale thing. That maybe we go into M1 or something and we find that we have broken something. Maybe these highs here, they created a kink over here. Actually, it doesn't look like the kink was broken by this, but maybe it was, who knows. We'll look for the furthest break of it. We'll look for the depth of the retrace on this kink and we'll see. I can't see it here, but if you do have it, then that's fine. Your first target then is going to be the MPL of this over here, and that could well have been hit already. Now you seem to be looking at a second one over here. What have we got? Maybe I've marked it out already. Okay. So here we have our highs. They get broken with this flag limit here. This is a lower flag limit. That gets broken. Fine. And then we go to our next target. And we look for obvious things like this here. We've got 2 highs lined up there. So they get broken up and then price comes back down through. So the trick that was played up there is important. That we've got a very strong resistance being made, it gets broken and then price comes back in the other direction again. That's a gorgeous trick, a really, really gorgeous trick, and a very strong left shoulder for price to come back to. Once price got back there, it should have filled this range again. It didn't. It just came back to the kink of these highs over here. Do you see this high and another high there? That's another BS resistance that's formed over here. It's made to look like this in lower time frame, and then it looks like it's respecting it, so you are going to get loads of sellers in here, and then their stops are taken over here. So this is an ignored Quasimodo level over here, so we should be looking at this. We'll find the high of this and find the kink on this side, and if we're to look for price to go down to this level over here, which is the next, presumably, unless there's something bigger further left of this, something higher and bigger further left. This is our next target zone, which will be around here. If we don't break that kink, then we have no PA. This certainly did not break that kink. Did it actually break the kink of this? Let me see the kink of this. It's somewhere inside this candle. Now, it might be this flag limit here. You have to go into the lower time frames and check out inside this candle where exactly the kink is on the break of this. With that, if we've broken it, we are promised to go to the next flag limit, which will be this one over here. Maybe there was space between the flag limit here and the flag limit there, so that once this got broken, maybe we could have come back and brought ourselves back in here and then down to the target again. You have to look into the lower time frames to see it. I can't see them exactly there. Maybe there is a great trade there, maybe there isn't. You always have to find that little bit of space. Here's your TG1. This is pretty much not the TG1 for me. We have to be looking in here for a TG, but this is a great place. You see over here, this is before our first engulf over here. The first engulf is back up in here. It comes down here, breaks this over here down, makes it look bearish, and then comes and shoots up and goes through the zone and back up in here over to here. So the MPL on this is gorgeous, and it hit it absolutely perfectly. Really gorgeous to look for a trade actually coming back inside there. Maybe we have our first engulf. See these lows over here? We have the first engulf over... No, okay, we've got the lows. The lows get broken. They made a kink over here. That gets broken here. Come back to our left shoulder level over there. We can take a trade there. We have to watch ourselves over here. The first target is the MPL of this guy over here, which is this point over here. So we've got to watch it very carefully. That actually breaks before it retraces, which is great. So then we can start looking at coming in through here. There's another target inside there. Here we've got to look at this over this place here. That lines up somewhere over here. We find the kink in it. That's our next target. After that then we'll be looking for the next target, which is there. We'll find the kink on that, which seems to be this guy over here. And we can follow those targets up as we go. So I'm not convinced about the trade here. If you show me in the lower time frame that there is space between here and here, then that's great. We can go with the trade there. Lovely. And then it is great. The R isn't brilliant on these things. Enter short here. Is your stop is still above here, so you have to work out what your R is on these things. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Okay. So next one, right, we're at an MPL over here. That's great. This comes, gets broken up, and price shoots back down. Okay, so we do have our level, and it's nice. Here we have our engulf down, and here is a flag limit. Let me see if I've drawn it in. What have we got? You've got your high. You say you've got a flag limit here, okay, and you've got an engulf of that. I don't see it, but okay, let's go on and see what I say about this anyway. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, so you've got this here. This is a break of that as we see it. So let's say this is the low over there, and this breaks the low. That makes this an upper flag limit. That upper flag limit here before it hits the target creates a lower flag limit here. So we need to wait for this guy to get engulfed before we have any PA. So, all right, we do have no PA yet on this scale once price gets here. This is actually the lower flag limit that we've got to get engulfed. So we have no PA yet. Now, okay, here we have an engulf of this. Fine, really, really nice. And then do we have space to our target? And where would we get our entry? Well, really, yes, this is one left shoulder that we've got over here. If it meets our criteria, if it's got good R on it, which it looks like it's got good R, our stop loss is above here, and our target, why is our target down here? We didn't work that out yet. Okay, and why isn't it this one? Okay, this is in the middle of nowhere. This isn't anything. There's our flag limit. There's our upper flag limit. There's our lower flag limit. This might be something. Oh, yeah, we've had our engulf here anyway, so it's after this. Now, where are we down to? I don't know what's to the left of here. If there's a left shoulder over here, we've got to be really careful because this whole kink over here could be the target. We don't know. You'll have to tell me that there's nothing in the way over there, that there are no left shoulders on the way over getting in the way. Really, for me, I have to know what's the left shoulder over there because this could have hit a target. Now, we've got a compression over here. So a great place to look for trades is pre-compression. Pre-compression on this would be the MPL of this guy. Now, in this scale, the only MPL I've got is right here. So, let me see, let me try and draw something. Boom. More drawing options. Yeah, let me, oh, okay. I want to be able to draw a rectangle. Okay, I can't. Pre-compression. Okay. The MPL of that. Oh, I thought this was going to allow me to, can I draw a straight line with this? No. Okay, it seems to me that we've hit our MPL on pre-compression over there anyway, so there is no trade in this. We've got no space. We have to look for space. Always have to look for space. Okay, delete these guys. So no trade on this one. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, next one. Here we go. We've got QM on the right side is a reaction to this flag limit. Alrighty, what are we looking at? Stop loss over here because we're reacting to this guy. Okay. We've got a flag limit there. Why do we have a flag limit there? You see, this didn't break anything up as far as I'm concerned on the way, so it's not a flag limit. Have I marked this? Let me get my annotation. Oh crap. Oh, all right. These are my annotations on it. All right. Okay. So this, for me, does not look like a flag limit at all because it hasn't broken anything to the upside. So for me, any engulf of this isn't an engulf at all. What we have to do is look around here. Here is a low. The low gets broken inside here. So maybe this over here becomes, somewhere inside this candle here is an upper flag limit. So then we've got to see where that gets broken. That gets broken somewhere inside this candle here. So we've got to check inside this candle here where exactly the break is, where is our lower flag limit, and we have to break that lower flag limit in order to have PA. But maybe there is a tick trade in here, maybe somewhere over here in the much lower time frame there is something that this has engulfed up and it makes it something special, and then we can look, we can have space then from there down to these highs over here corresponding with that over there. Maybe there is a trade, but on this scale there is no trade here at all. There's just no space. The engulf of this means very little. It looks nice, really does look nice, but it's nothing important to me. I don't see a trade there. Okay. So now on to this one over here. What have we got? We got a number of things going on here, it seems. Right, we got a number of highs here together. All these highs are dying to be broken at some stage or other. First of all, here, hold on. I'm enjoying this cigarette so much. Right. You say we've got an engulf of something here. And then we have a short inside here with our target over here. I don't see why. I don't see any of that. Let me go to my markings. Hopefully I've got markings on it. Right, you haven't given me a reason why this is a target over here at all. I don't know why. Maybe it's the MPL of this for some reason. I don't know. Okay, well, what have we got? Here we've got a left shoulder on all of this over here. And then here is a number of resistances formed. They break up. That's okay. So we're looking at a second one. We're looking for another short over here. This is what we've got. All right. So what have we? There are highs. They get broken up here. So okay, this can, in effect, this guy over here can be a lower flag limit once we actually hit the MPL over here. You've got an MPL over here, which is fine. So this is a lower flag limit, and that can break. Now, with that, we will look for our next place. And what have we got? Maybe it's somewhere over here. Maybe there's something really obvious over here to the left of this chart. Maybe. But for now, we have engulfed in here, and we've engulfed into this space. And right over here, for me, the first target will line up with these guys over here to see where this trick was played. We had a low and a low lining up and another low lining up. They got broken down, and then price came back up through and took out any stops that were there for them. So yes, I would look for a kink tying in with them, and it is over here. So this is going to be a kink for me. And if price has broken this guy and not yet hit the kink of this, then we do have space, and we can take a short here over at this BS level again. Keep our stop not beyond this. It's actually what this is a reaction to, unfortunately. So our stop is going to be beyond here on this one because we're still in this scale. We're not in a smaller scale at all. We're still in this scale. So our stop is not there. Save your money and put your stop over there, and then you can get your trade back down to the first target is over here at this kink, which is the Quasimodo level of this. First target over there, and price does love to fill a range. There's that for the first target. Your second target then is going to be this level. You'll find the kink tying in with that. The third one is going to be tying in with this one over here. We love left shoulders all the way. We will find the kink in there, and that is our next target. It looks like it was one of these guys over here. It's bounced in at this level over here, but ultimately it broke it. So there was no PA back up after it hit any of these targets, so you were still good to stay in the trade. And if this really was a good higher time frame level that we're reacting to, then why not stay in? Keep the trade going until you get PA in that. So yes, there is a trade here. The stop is in a very dangerous place there. I couldn't put it there. The stop has to be beyond there. There is a trade. It's all right. Okay, so what have we got here? I believe there might not be enough information on this. Really, when you've got candles this size, shrink it one more time so you can still see the candles, but get more information on the chart. That is too big and too fat altogether. There isn't enough information on the chart. Make it as skinny as you can while still seeing your candles. You can see in the open, high, low, and close of them. Right, so you've got, I don't see the zone we're in first of all. It seems that we have broken this high over here, so we're still inside the zone which isn't marked. Here you said we've got an engulf of this guy over here, which may be viable, maybe real. This may have broken that, making this a lower flag limit, and then we do have an engulf. Fine, okay. What do I think of this? Okay. So, all right, yes, this guy broke that, or this broke that. I think it probably broke this as well, which does make it a lower flag limit in itself. And we do have an engulf of it, so we do have PA, which is great, excellent. So we're coming in at, I don't see exactly the left shoulder level there. I do see the top of this candle all right, being a Quasimodo level, and that could be it. Now maybe I would have been waiting further up here. I think I would have been waiting further up here and missed that trade altogether. Hold on a second. I probably would have missed this. But yeah, it is there to be taken. So once you've broken this, then you're looking at your conservative targets. Now this here, this isn't a conservative target, but it is kind of a very real target in that the orders are still waiting down here. At the MPL of this, see those two lows lined up inside there? It looks really good. And another target as well is our first engulf here is and high over here on a little lower time frame swing, and we do engulf that over here, maybe even on this. This wasn't on the way down actually, this was on the way back up, so no, we do have an engulf here, and then it retraces back into somewhere here, and that is a great target for price. However, there are other targets here. At this level, we would find the kink on that, and that would be our first target there, finding the kink inside at this level, our first target. And then if there are any other highs on the way over on the left-hand side over there, they're good targets as well. After those, then we're looking to the underside. This is a left shoulder level over there. We're going to find the kink inside there, and that is another target wherever that kink is. And then there's another one over here. We find the kink on that, and that brings us back into our origin of the move, and they are our targets inside there. So yes, while we do love to fill a range, and it's always very, very possible you're going to fill this range, you have to look to your conservative targets, which are here, which are here, which are here. And you have to respect those always, and you've got to understand that they can stop and reverse price. So this is a good trade. The R on it turned out to be absolutely gorgeous. Really, once you get down to your first target on it, which is the kink over here, once you find that, you don't get out of this trade at all until you get PA against you. I don't think I'd have taken anything out of this first target here, seeing the price really should come and fill this range. It's just too nice, too appealing altogether. So yeah, that is a nice trade. It's a good one. I like it. Oh, hold on a second. But of course, I have no idea where we are in space because the original drawing gave me no information about our zone. If our zone was very, very wide, if it was a gigantic zone, then maybe this wasn't such a great trade. Maybe our R was awful. So we have to know where we're trading from always. Okay. Now what have we here? Here is a... Now I know that I've got no notes on this at all. This came from one of the trading rooms earlier on today. So what have we? We've got a compression here. We've got our left shoulder level over there. Here we're in at the tip of the compression level, so it is a good place to take a trade from. Here is where we broke into the compression. Somewhere inside this candle made a flag limit on the break into the compression, and that is a valid flag limit. Then it came up through the compression to the target of the compression, the other side of it, the MPL of it over here. There's the MPL of that compression. And it's gorgeous. It's really nice. It's a fabulous place to take a trade from. And what have we got? We've got an engulf. And here we have the holy of holies. We have that most amazing thing. We have space. We have space down to the next level over here, and I absolutely love it. There's nothing in the way anywhere over here. There's nothing in the way. We do have space. We have an engulf. We have we're coming back up to the MPL of this again over here, and it's a fabulous place to take a trade. Your stop loss, okay, here's where our stop loss is marked on over here. That's great. Left shoulder over there, kink over there. Fine. This is actually very conservative. I mean, this is two compressions in themselves. There is one compression here, and then there's another compression here. Now, okay, whoever made this chart says this is all one compression, and I respect that. I respect that absolutely fine. However, this is the zone we're working from. It is our left shoulder over there, so he's right to have his stop loss above here because we're working from this zone. So stop above here, entry at the MPL of this, absolutely great. And we do have space all the way down to our conservative target. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That is wicked. And then our next target after that, okay, we're looking at these guys over here, but these seem to tie in with this one already, so that's great. They're still TG1. Then we look over here at the MPL of this. We find the kink on that. TG2, I would have somewhere inside there. This for me would actually be TG3 on it, but it's great. It all worked out absolutely fine. And this here was taken from the tick chart. And so many of us are turning to tick charts now because we get very regular, pure PA like this with space to travel. Now, it's not something that you do on your first day of trading because you will not be attuned to making such quick decisions on your trades as you will be after you've had a lot of experience in higher time frames. But I'm going back to trading in a couple of weeks' time, and I am going to be trading mostly the tick charts except on monster levels on the higher time frames. So yeah, this is gorgeous. It has everything that we need. It has the break of a flag limit from a flag limit, and it has space to the target. Gorgeous. Use those. Hang that on your wall. It's an absolutely brilliant one. It is a perfect example of what we're looking for. And it's not being very greedy. It's not looking for all of this range to fill. We understand that our first target is here, and maybe that's the first place to take all profit or take some profits, at least to be able to cover any hit of the stop loss over there. Because we really do want to cover our stop loss. When we have PA on a trade, we can set our trade to break even. Setting our trade to break even does not mean putting the stop loss at our entry. Absolutely not. Setting the trade to break even means taking enough profit off at our first target to make sure that if our stop loss gets hit, we do not lose any money. So setting to break even means taking some profit at TG1. It does not mean setting our stop loss exactly on our entry, because price can come back to our entry a million times before it actually hits the target or before it does what it wants to do. So stop loss to break even does not mean that. Stop loss to break even means taking enough profit to cover our stop loss. Our stop loss will stay where it is until we've hit our target. It always must stay that way, otherwise we're just in trouble, or we're making fools of ourselves. Alrighty. So here we have some more. All right. We have presumably, let me see, I sold it here. Okay, here at this place. All right. Okay. What do we have? We're told that we have an engulf which didn't hit the target. That I'm not so sure of at all, because we've got left shoulders over here which have their kink inside this candle, so I'm not certain about those at all. Let me see if I've made any reply. Okay, this one I didn't even have to bring price back down or back over as far as here. We see that right here we've got a high and another high and another high and another high. We've got 4 highs here lined up. They got broken, stop loss is taken, price came back through again. Here's our Quasimodo level on it. Surely once price got over to there, it should have come down and moved south, but it didn't. So what we have here is, now yes, this is a lower flag limit. It certainly is a lower flag limit, and this did engulf the lower flag limit right to its conservative target, exactly to its conservative target. So this is not PA for a short at all. In a sense, it is PA for a short, but it's hit its target, so it's not PA for any more than that, unfortunately. So, okay. Then if you're assuming that this is PA down, then I can see why you're going to take your first trade here, that you're going to sell here. And it actually does make itself look bearish right down to the Quasimodo level of this over here, exactly to it, so it's actually hit its target. But I can see why sellers will get in there, and it is a very common retailer notion to come in at a supply level like this and assume that an engulf like this is actually going to work. But no, we have no PA whatsoever. We didn't get into any sort of compression down here. We didn't even break this kink over here at the break of these highs. Now, if we had have broken the kink tying in with these highs, we'd be on something. We'd be looking then at this, and then we'd be looking at that, and then we'd be looking at this and looking at this. We'd be looking at these left shoulder levels over here. For targets on it, but there is no PA here, so there is no trade to be taken. Oh, okay, so this was the actual trade taken there, and what did it do? Okay, take the trade there at that level, and it does look bearish. It comes down through this little compression in here, comes down into this zone, high, break of high, kink there, comes right down to the target on that, so there's no PA made here at all. Really, if you'd have taken this as the first target, let's say that inside there, the bottom of that candle as the MPL of this, then maybe had you taken out half of it with spread or whatever, who knows if you would have actually ended up with a loss by the time your actual stop loss hit. But no, this is first target on that. So there was no PA earlier. There was no prior PA telling you that this diamond was going to work because the PA actually hit its target. Okay. Let me see. Right. So now GU. Oh, by the way, there's one thing with GU. GU absolutely loves making very precise double highs or double tops and very precise double bottoms. It loves them, absolutely loves them. So it's break-even hunt city on the GU. It happens all the time. Okay, does that matter in this case? I don't know. What are we looking at? Okay, sell limit here. Missed. Really, I don't know what should I do when a level misses by a pip. Should we close our pending order? If you're in the zone and price hits the zone but doesn't hit exactly where you want it to hit, it's no good to you. It's really no good to you. You have to close that trade because it has hit the area and it has weakened the area, so the area need not hold anymore. When price gets back up into the zone again, you can watch PA when it gets there to see if there's a trade, but no, you must close your pending order if you've already, especially if you've missed a pip by a pip or something like that. If it's hit the zone, that's it, it's over. Close your pending order. So it is a shame you missed that one, really is a shame you missed that one, but you've got to close the PO. So supply created for future PO, the extreme. I see what you're doing here. Yes, this is an early supply that was formed and it looked like it was respected here. So yes, you would get retailers in there and get their stops taken out here over at this level. Fine. I would like to see that this level over here ties in with a left shoulder over on the other side as well, ties in with a high. But maybe this is a flag limit here, and maybe you did break it. Maybe this is the first engulf down. Maybe. It's hard to see. We need more information. Okay. Is this the same trade? No, this is actually a different trade at the same place. So it seems that you have, once again, Missed it by a little bit more here. Waiting for a diamond here. If you're in the zone, forget about it. Really forget about it. Do you have PA here? Oh, it's the same. Oh, right, the same one. All right. So, okay. You say you have PA here. This gets broken up by that, and okay. Alrighty, so then this is a lower flag limit here, and we do have PA. So what have we got to look for? Well, we've got to look for the MPL of it over here. If that gets broken, that's fine. Oh, actually, no, this is the PA here, so we have broken that quite nicely. Now we're going to look into levels like this. We're going to look across here and see, did the kink of that get? Yes, it did, because we're down here now. We're still in this kink, however. You see the way we have one flag there sitting on top of this flag here, or should I say this flag here sits below that flag over there. So okay, we do have to look inside there. We have an high and an high lined up. So this then is our next flag limit. So on the break of this flag limit there, we're looking for this flag limit as a target. And really, we're already in it. So once we have made our PA, we're at our target. So I don't see any short to be taken there. Now, these guys over here, just see these lows lining up with those lows over there. They were a nice strong support to be used, and here they will have gotten retail traders in buying on this, and then they will have got them to close their buys and hit their stop losses over here to actually sell into the retail or the ITs who were buying. So yes, this was a nice trick place over there. So yes, this is a nice order. Once price came and made its first engulf back, whether you can say this is the first engulf here with this thing, or you're more conservative and say, okay, this got engulfed over there. Why didn't price come back down here? Price should have come back down here. And it didn't. So yes, this is still very inviting, but you can't say that it's going to turn from anywhere in here because you don't have PA to bring you down through. You have to break this guy to be able to get anywhere near that level, and you haven't broken this guy yet, so it's no good. While we do love to fill these voids where price hasn't come back and picked out these gorgeous orders here, even over at this MPL, we can't say that the first engulf that we have is going to bring us there. We can hope that it is, and we can look for PA back around this area again, back in at the highs to take us back down there, but we're not promised anything. This piece of PA only promised to go to exactly where it went to. I mean, maybe this is the MPL of it over there and it seemed to touch it quite well. So we don't know. We have no PA on this yet, so there is no trade. Okay, what have we got? Oh, I put extra markings on this. All right. So we've got this guy over here. Okay, these lows get broken. Here's the lower flag limit, upper flag limit on that. That gets broken. All right, no worries. The rest of it's being recorded anyway. So yeah, you'll see the rest of it. And yes, we are dragging on here a lot. We're nearly 2 hours in. Okay, and I'm sure Gil still wants to speak. You see, what I didn't know was before we started this webinar, I should have given Gil a while to talk. And then I should have started on my ramble through all the charts, etc. Gil, are you there? Maybe we should let you speak for a little while here before we close up, because it's 2 hours and it's very long for everybody. Is Gil here? I do not know. Nothing here to add. Okay, all right. So maybe my preamble to the lesson was quite similar to your preamble to the lesson. That's fair enough. So, and I'm sorry for not seeing your Skype message to let you speak first. Sorry about that. Okay, so no PA here. We have to break this guy to have any bit of PA here at all. That was good. Yes, the break of this was PA, but now we have to break this one to have PA. So yeah, it's no good for us. Okay, next. I'll give this a few more charts. Alrighty, so what have we got here? Okay, we're at this level. Fine. Is this our... No, okay. We got a high, we got a low. We've got a higher high, and we've got a lower low. Now, this, to me, straight off, didn't seem to break this SR at all. So, okay, we're not looking at this as a piece of PA. We're looking for our trade in here, okay, which is inside that. I can see this can here is shrunk down and it's inside there. Okay, so here we're at the Quasimodo level of this guy. All right. Yes, fine. Okay, so I know I have something going on over here. So, okay, so we're not looking at trading this engulf here and coming back up to our diamond over there, which is fine. That's absolutely fine because that didn't really make PA. So we're looking at this left shoulder level over here and we're looking at this. Now, all right, this was the left shoulder level. It got broken inside here. So we do have ourselves a lovely little Quasimodo level over here, and we came to that Quasimodo level quite nicely. I have it marked somewhat differently. I have it marked at this level over here and back up to where it retraces, and that is nice. So in the pre-compression here, you see the way we're compressed all the way up inside there. Pre-compression there is a gorgeous place to take a trade from here, and stop losses beyond the other end of the kink that we've got over there. So this is a bit low for that stop loss. I'm not loving that. So yes, beyond that is good. Now, okay, so here price came down through this zone and came down into here, made a double bottom here. Now, these double bottoms, as I say, they are gorgeous. They always want to be broken. They are dying to be broken. But if we are looking for a target on any move down, we're going to have to start looking into, let me see, it's this that gets broken over here. Fine. Hi, Pippi. Hi, baby. Good boy. Good to see you awake. Don't bark at anybody, okay? Good fella. Right. Oh, you need to go toilet. Okay. Right. Okay. So there, right. Maybe the best place to look for is beyond these, certainly because these are so magnetic to be broken, because they are that lovely strong support, very strong support, and even when price gets back over to it here, maybe it starts to look a little bit bullish, and over here again they do start to make it very bullish at this support. But these things like this, they just break, and they love to break them. But anyway, what have we got? In here we have got price shooting up to our level, which is great. And then, let me see, does it then break the approach? Let's use this over here. That seems to tie in with that. It's actually going to have to break what ties in with this guy over here. We're going to have to draw a rectangle on that, and then let that be our new upper flag limit, and then find out where that breaks. So I can't see really inside here where that breaks. So I do not know if we've got PA inside there. But what we do have is a gorgeous can-can inside here. We have a very strong push up. Really strong push up. I don't know what time frame we're looking at here. It looks like low time frame anyway, but we have our very strong push up. That didn't get any sellers in, so with not getting any sellers in on this side of the push, they're going to have to start getting them in on this side of the push. So they'll start trending price downwards and downwards. So okay, once we're up on here, we get our trend down, back up inside here to take some stops. Then we're trending down and down and down, trending down, trending down. So we're getting in loads of sellers in here. All the way in here we're getting in sellers. We make a lovely resistance here, so then that takes loads of stops over here. So there's no problem selling over to there, and then we are going to look for our first target actually inside this can. Really, we're compressing our way up to it. First target is over here, but this gets taken on the way up, so then that weakens it. So yes, we're looking at over here down the other end of it. Really, we should get ourselves into this into this compression before we start trading it, but it's a very, very obvious can-can. And we have these guys over here, these highs, getting their stops taken. Then we've got another two over here. We've got another high there, another fake one, a fake pair of highs there, fake resistance. Take that into the MPL of this guy over here, and we can sell down through. And yes, it's a bit risky. There is no PA for the short. Really, as I see it, there's no PA for the short, unless you can convince me that this guy over here has its kink taken out over here by this. I don't think you will convince me of that, however. But it still is nice. It's a gamble trade, and it is nice. And we do have unfilled orders over here, which is fine. We have these guys over here, which are dying to be taken out sooner or later, absolutely dying to be taken out sooner or later. So yes, we do, in a sense, have a trade here. You'll want to be looking at the can-can rather than the Quasimodo for it, however. Boop, 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 boop. Right, oh, on to the next one, okay. What have we got? Diamond is here, next chart for details. Okay, so we're at a pre-compression over here. See, we got a compression going on, and we're at pre-compression inside here, so it's a nice place to look for a trade. That's fine. Okay, so now we have FTR in lower time frame. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Fine. Now, you've got a high here, and you've got a low here, and a higher high, and a lower low. Fine, so you say that that is PA. Now, it still hasn't broken any of this, so I'm not convinced that it's any PA at all. Really, you've got to convince me that it is something. Where are my annotations on it? Okay. We got this high over here that gets broken here. Here is the lower flag limit, which is created for it. So we do actually need to break this guy. Now, you can say, if you like, that we have a compression over here. And as soon as price comes and breaks into the compression with this guy, presumably this is compression. I don't know exactly if there's a candle inside there, which is actually lower than this, which would mean that breaking this would bring us into our compression. I don't know. Maybe this is the low over here. I'm not quite certain. But if we have come into our compression over here, then it is a trade, and it can bring us to the MPL of the compression over on this side. The MPL of the compression will be over there, and price will come to that sooner or later, before we break the zone that we're coming from. So maybe there is that trade there. But if you're looking at it on a flag level perspective, there is no trade until we have broken this guy. And where's our target for the break of the kink on the break of this? We have to look over to here at this kink over here, so we're at our target. So any break of this which didn't hit this target can be traded. If it did hit the target, however, there is no trade. Okay, next. Oh, my voice. I'm going to lose it very soon. Okay, what have we? All right. Here, QM level. This is gorgeous. See this again. We've got a high and a high and a high lined up together. You can even say that one's lined up with them as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 highs lined up together. That's a dream for retailers, absolute dream for retailers, because there's no way that's ever going to break upwards. That is the most fantastic R there is in the world. It is the most beautiful resistance. It's never ever going to break, so you can pile in as many shorts as you like there with your stops just above the top, exactly where the IT is going to take them out. So this is a lovely level. Fine. And really, you can very often touch trade a return to that level, and you can be looking at symmetry being made back down to the beginning of this swing again. So okay, what have you got? You've got an engulf of this. All right, that engulfs this high over here. I like that. It is PA down. Where is the PA2? Okay, we've got this guy over here. We've got the bottom of this swing. That will be presumably a lower flag limit. Here will be an upper flag limit. That gets broken there, making a lower flag limit, but that gets broken over there. So we do have a lower flag limit there. And then our engulf here brings us right into that lower flag limit. It brings us into the MPL of that flag limit over here. So for me, it is not a definite trade. It really isn't a definite trade at all, because it has hit its conservative target. But I absolutely love the level that it came from with all these guys over there, and I do love symmetry. I do love filling a range. Now, the bottom of this box over here lines up with this line over here, I believe, and brings us back down to here. And this has a nice little MPL inside there. Maybe it was picked up by this candle, just maybe, or maybe it's actually a little kink inside here, that little bit lower. Either way, there are orders to be found inside here or inside here, and it would be lovely to pick them up. And we have had our first engulf inside here. So I like it. I do like it. I do like the fact that we have an engulf down here. We're coming back over to this left shoulder level again. And I mean, it's so easy to fill this range again over to where we engulfed. So easy to fill that range. I would definitely take a touch trade down to there and wait and see what happens. If price goes against me, I have to say to myself, all right, well listen, we've hit our target over here, so we're not strong on this. We really don't have any PA down, but we do have ourselves a nice hard push up here, taking stops above this candle over here, and I'd love to come to this level here and just bring price down at least to here, because those orders didn't get taken. Once price came back and shot above this flag, why didn't they come down and take the orders inside here at this MPL? They didn't. So this is a really lovely place to bring price to and watch price as it goes. Then it comes and breaks into this whole compression that we've got going on over here. So then we look for the MPL of that compression. Maybe it's over here somewhere, but that might have been weakened already by this. And we're coming down to fill our range, down to take our set of orders here, our MPL inside here. And that actually gives us the symmetry that we've got from the very start of the move that we're reacting to in the very beginning. I love my symmetry, absolutely love filling this ranges. So this isn't a PA trade, but it's a very high probability trade. And then of course, once we've shot up past here, taken out the stops above there, we get a can-can forming inside here. So maybe there's another little great place to trade in there on this can-can and bring us down into the zone again and fill up our range. So that is really, really nice. Have I any notes on it here? I've just given more notes than I probably have. Stop loss, not above the high, but above what we are reacting to. Always above what we're reacting to. Don't forget that. Here, I've marked this lovely symmetry on it. So there's not a PA trade in here per se, but there is a range to be filled and symmetry to be had. So watch out for these ones. They are very good. It is a shame that the PA that we got was right into our first target, but you know, at this can-can, we might have been looking at something special inside there. It could have been a great trade for us. At this Quasimodo level over here, maybe that ties in with that for our sell on the can-can, bringing us down through. How lovely. Okay. Alrighty then, we've got ourselves a left shoulder over here. Here we have a lower flag limit that gets broken up, making an upper flag limit over here. Alright, so yes, this is a UFL. That is very, very nice. Here we have an high low, an higher high, and presumably a lower low. Now, okay, that brings us over to these levels over here, our BS level on this. These highs over here brings us into our target zone. Fine. Now, remember I was saying that when we have a compression, if the compression crosses through a flag limit, we've got to break the compression into two. So here we have one compression all the way down to here. And it's a very obvious compression all the way down to there, except that we've got these guys over here, meaning that we've got to break the compression and cause this to be a flag limit in itself. That is now a lower flag limit. It is the IQM level from over here, so our compression doesn't stretch over to there. So what we've got is no PA on this break in here. It breaks into the compression, but it simply comes to the MPL of this flag limit over here, so it's done its thing. Okay, do I have notes on this, or is it all on here? No, or somewhere else, I believe. Right. So is that your trade, or is it somewhere inside here? Are you taking a can-can trade? Another can-can, really nice. You're very good at finding can-cans, by the way. Really good work. Okay, So what you're saying is we have bum, 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 bum. Yes, lower flag limit here. We've got to break this. Yes, okay, then we get price action down. Okay, so we're breaking, no, we're not breaking into compression here even. We have to break this guy before we can break into the compression before we have a trade. Okay, we're at a perfectly all right level. We're at this left shoulder level over here. It ties in with that. So we do have good history at this selling point. We do have good history at this selling point. That's fine. We have an engulf of this guy here. The next target for it is right there. So yes, unfortunately we don't have any PA for our trade on this. Yes, we've broken this guy. That's absolutely fine, but we're right into the next target down there. There's no entry until we've made it in through this compression. None whatsoever. So there is no trade here except that we want this range to fill again. There are unfilled orders inside here. I mean, once price came and broke up there, broke these guys, it made its first engulf. Why didn't it come and take out these orders over here? The last set of orders. I mean, why didn't it? It should have done, but it didn't. So this is a high possibility trade. It is nearly a probability trade. It's definitely not a definite trade. Absolutely not a definite trade, but there is a good chance of filling this range. It really, really is. So yeah, it's a nice enough trade, but I don't see the PA in it. Okay. So, oh, is this the same thing? Oh, I'm rubbish at knowing it. What's what? Okay. We have compression over to here. We've broken into the compression somewhere inside this candle. I don't know where exactly it is that we've broken inside there. But here you're saying we have SR on this. There is some sort of a kink in there. We have broken that. That's fine. And now we're back up to this MPL again over here. Okay. So now we're in the lower time frame coming up to it, and we're compressing our way up there quite nicely, which is good. That is good. I do like the fake that we've got here. We've got this high over here and that high over there, and then a strong push past them. And the strong push past them does actually take stops. It really gets people out of their trades and into trading in the wrong direction. So yes, there are orders here for sure up around this level. There are definitely orders beyond this and this. It's been shown to be respected here somewhat and then taken out. So it does get, here is, when it gets up to here, it's trending downwards. Trend down, trend down, trend down, trend down. Did it break into this compression? It didn't break into this compression. Had it broken into this compression, it's going to the other end of this compression, which is great. It's a short distance, but a short distance can get you in a trade and keep you there. So yes, there's no PA on it yet. You're saying we've broken this low. If we've broken this low, that's fine. It brings us into our next target, which is right here, so it's not going anywhere. But it is a nice place, and we do have our first engulf down. Our first engulf down brings us over to this area over here. You see this low over here, this low over here. That's another strong place. And then that ties in with this over here. So this kink over here is important. So you're really in your target zone. So once price came back through this zone, it came and took out that MPL over there. See this? It came and took out that MPL, but it didn't take out this MPL over here. So that's still going to be attractive for later on. Price is going to want to get there sooner or later. So if we could just get into, let's say, this compression here before it gets to the MPL of this compression over here, we're on a good trade. I don't see any real PA to take us down to the base down here, but once again we have another place. Once this got broken up over here by this, why didn't price come back down and take out that? Why didn't it? It should have done. And then later on, of course, it came down and took out this and made a double bottom, made a triple bottom, so that wants to break later on. But we can't see any of that yet because we're looking for a trade up here. We do have stop losses above here and above here. We can, now this is pretty advanced stuff, on the quick break of that BS zone that we've got there, we can trade back in to the kink on the high of those. Here it looks like the kink on that. We can take that trade down to the kink and see what happens. Here it came and came back up to our MPL, and it's getting really close to our entry, seriously close to our entry, putting us under pressure. But then that kink breaks and then we're in on a trade. So okay, we do have something there. It's not great PA, it's quite advanced. It's not something I would tell you to take. So yeah, I say there's no PA there simply because we've hit our first target on this, which is a shame because there is this whole range to fill. But no, give yourself space on your trades. There's no space on this one. It's right into its target, so it's no good. Okay. Okay, what are we dealing with over here? I hope I do not contradict myself over here. Okay, we've got this guy over here. This is a flag limit in itself. That's fine. And we're looking for symmetry on that. Okay, when we hit here, we do look for symmetry on that. But really, the symmetry on that only brings us to this kink over here, and we've hit it. So, all right. Here is compression over there. So we do, yeah, I'm saying exactly the same thing. Good, I'm glad. I agree with myself. No PA until we get into this compression over here. Good, good, good. I love agreeing with myself. Alrighty. Okay, so we have a pretty obvious place over here. We've got a number of lows tied up, and then here's where they break. Here is the kink on it, somewhere inside here. That's nice. So it's a nice area. So we have Quasimodo on the first time back. I don't see that we have a Quasimodo per se. Okay, right. Did I mark bits on this? Because I'd like to think that I've marked those guys and then found the kink on them over there. Let's see. All right, I found these guys over there. That's fine. Couldn't find out where the kink on this is, but we do have some PA in there all right. Our first target on any break of the kink, which is in here, is going to be over to this area over here, because we've got to be conservative with these things. So that ties in with this kink over here, and that has to break for us to have any PA. I don't believe it actually broke with this, which is a real pain in the ass, but we get pains in the ass all the time. If this was easy, nobody would be doing it. So the first bit of PA that we could get is a break of this little kink over here. Okay, no, that's a goddamn lie. The first bit of PA we can get is a break of the kink on the highs of this, and we got that. And the first target for that then is over here. It's the next important place, and then that has to be broken for PA to occur. After that breaks, we've got to look down to here and find the kink that ties in with that. I mean, we're looking at very small distances on this piece of PA here, very small distances indeed to get our targets. But as you can see, this worked. There, over to there. It need not have got any further than this. I mean, price could have shot all the way up from here. But if it did, I don't know exactly where the kink was on this low over here. We can follow it over a little bit. I'm not even going to try and draw it with my drawing technology here. It'll just be a scribble. Maybe we did break it. If we did break it, then yes, we're looking at something good. And we would like to get a bit of symmetry then with this guy over here. We'd like to fill this range again and bring ourselves back over to our origin of the move. That would be lovely. If we break the flag limit tying in with this, we can very often look for it. Yes, we are going to have mediocre or median targets inside here, more left shoulder levels inside there. That seems to have been taken out by this already. So yeah. Okay, we do have a few targets in the way. We've got to check on these levels here, especially if they broke something to the left. I mean, if any of these actually was an upper flag limit, then it's very important. So we do have more targets to watch out for there. Be careful with them. And over here, again, all the more. Here seems to be it, and it did come down here and hit there. So here, there's no PA as far as I can see, but it is lovely anyway. And once price came, and okay, here's your first engulf over here. That's your first engulf. It came and picked up the last set of orders which was inside there. Then when it came and broke this, surely it should have picked those up. You could be looking for a trade for yourself at this Quasimodo level over here to bring yourself down and fill that range. Your target for it, however, would be pre-compression. See these three lows here, they're a compression. Your target would be the MPL before that compression over there. It would be lovely to take that trade. but it didn't happen, it seems. Now that got broken and price went then to the next target over here. We've got to look at this guy. If that hit the target, then there's still no PA. If it broke the target, there is PA. And then on a retrace back over to this MPL level over here, you can take a trade. You can, but you have to double check that you have actually broken the kink, which ties in with that over there. If you did, you do have space to the next target over. How lovely would that be? All right, next. Oh my golly, I think this is really a recurrence on a theme here. It's all basically the same theme, yes. So there are a number more charts to be looking at, but we're 2 hours 20 minutes into this, and that's too long for anybody to be talking, and especially for anybody to be listening. So I am going to cut it here. You've learned a lot on this. Some of you have learned a lot on this anyway. Others of you know exactly what it is that you knew at the very beginning of this. But really, watch out for where you put those stop losses. They have to be beyond your zone. They absolutely must be beyond the zone that you're reacting to, otherwise you're in trouble. You must find yourself some space. If there's no space, there is no trade. There has to be an engulf and there has to be space. And then there has to be good R on the trade. If you have all of those, you're looking absolutely brilliant. Now you should each know, and if I didn't get to your charts on this, I'm really sorry. They're in there somewhere. It's just we've been going at this forever. But this is really, I've hit every theme that there is on this anyway. So if I've missed your charts, I've already explained them in somebody else's. So this is what we're looking for. Now what I want you to do is quickly, before the next meeting, I want you to look through all of your own charts. And if you haven't had the chance to do up your charts, I want you to do up charts. I want you to do your assignment, and I want you to find trades in history which have everything that we're looking for, that are from a good zone. Now, next class, I'm going to do something which I didn't do for the last class, but I'm going to do for you guys, which is go through in quite a bit of detail on where your zones should be. I'm going to be showing exactly where to be looking for trades, because saying, okay, here's PA from a level, that's one thing, but you've got to know what the level is. So the next class is going to be about those levels, and it really is giving everything away. Once you know those, and you know this about the engulf and giving yourself some space, you know everything about the market. You don't need any more. So yes, you're going to get that on the next one. Yes, you may ask a second question, because may I ask a question is in fact a question. So go for it. Talk to me. Oh, you've already written it. We know the price goes from flag limit to flag limit. Oh, that's a long one. Okay. I believe that there are a lot of FTRs in the chart, for example, daily chart, but we have a few flag limits as a target and also entry. In that target, ITs once again make another decision to break the target or respect it. I myself never look at shoulders and the DPS to break. I always look for the FLs that hold price as the true place that transaction of orders execute. Oh my golly, I'm finding this difficult to understand. Do you have an example of it, and can you be the presenter and can you show me what you're talking about? Yeah, now. Or we can talk about it in your homework thread if you like. Okay, it seems I have you put on the spot here. You're not ready for this. Okay, get yourself ready for this and put the question in there, and I will answer that question at the very beginning of the next webinar. How's that? Is that good? As you put a lot of words at me there, and after nearly 2.5 hours of speaking, my brain doesn't work. It really doesn't work. My brain is...
I was creating a new thread in announcement category where you can just put your questions about lesson number 1, this session that we just had, and
oh, good.
I strongly recommend that before you put your question, try to answer it to yourself, but because sometimes when you just do the process, you get the answers yourself. If you still have a valid question, put it there, and all of you in the team are please try to answer your mates' questions, because it should be challenge your mind as well, and don't expect just Eve and myself and other people to reply to you. So try to make it a debate, and we will pick up the most interesting stuff for next time, and we will discuss it if it's needed. But I think the discussion itself among yourself will be enough challenging and inspiring to get the answers there, because after all, it's a pretty simple concept with many formations, but it's at the end, at the bottom line, it's something very simple. So try to make a live discussion out of this. Raise your questions. Try to answer it. Be a team, and we'll pick it up at the next lesson.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks very much, Gil. You're absolutely right. That's perfect. Yeah. Because what we're here about, what's different here than anywhere else is, I mean, the information is already there in RTM. What makes us different is you're here with a committed group of peers who will help you out. They are committed, as I say, so we are here to help each other, and we can do that. So yeah, put out your questions, try and answer them yourself. Absolutely try and answer them yourself, and try and answer them for each other. Exactly as Gil said, he's down straight. And if you have any other notes to finish this off, Gil, do, because I'm about to go into a coughing and sneezing fit, which is going to raise my temperature very high and half kill me. So I'll leave it to you to sign us out. All right, Gil?
Yeah, I think you're too shy to say goodbye, but yeah.
Thank you, brother. Bye, everybody.
All right. So.
Oh yeah. In that thingy, Gil's going to go through working out a democratic time for the meeting. Yeah. Bye. I'm listening, but I'm not talking.
Okay. Good night.